Greetings and salutations, YouTube. This is Fragments of Memory, your friendly neighborhood armchair philosopher. Recently, it's been announced that Hulu is presenting a documentary about the famous and infamous event called Freaknik. Now, Freaknik was an event that was began back in the early 80s, about 1982, 1983, for college students, picnic, that sort of thing, and then it morphed into this sort of crazy party full of debauchery and fun and all of this, from what I've heard. Now, there's been jokes on social media platforms that people are worried about it because never before seen footage has come up for the Freaknik documentary of people in, let's say, illicit activities. Now, are people really worried? Is it silly gossip over social media? Is it mere conjecture on the part of those that, are wondering, the curious, that is? So when the business with Freaknik was going on, one, I was a child, so I don't have any personal issues with Freaknik, one way or the other, because I was a child growing up, and by the time it was in its most infamous, I was middle school, early high school age, so I wasn't even really a part of the scene. I was in the Midwest, I wasn't in Atlanta, and two, it just wasn't my thing, I wasn't part of that. I only heard about Freaknik through the grapevine, and back then I thought it was like a rap show or a touring hip hop. I thought it was a rap group or a touring hip hop show. Now, why is your armchair philosopher talking about it? Well, based on people asserting that some may be ashamed due to their shameful deeds back in their youth, as many have shameful deeds they've done back in their youth that they now regret, I wondered, one, do people not realize that, well, let me get into it. Let me say it this way. Is there a price to pay for the pursuit of pleasure alone? Is there a price to pay? And then what price do you pay? And when do you pay that price? And what offering will you give to the God of pleasure? Will it be your self-respect? Will it be your reputation? Will it be money? Will it be fame? Will it be your safety? Will it be your security? Will it be your health? Will it be your very own mortal existence? And does the debt you owe to the god or goddess, for those who are hung up on gender pronouns, does it have an expiration date? Now, I have a couple of sayings on that, just because what these sayings are remind me of that, like this pursuit of pleasure above all else, even in our youth or even in our older ages. Now, in Disney's The Black Hole, there's a scene where, well, I like Disney's The Black Hole. And anyway, this crew finds this spaceship in front of a black hole, and the man leading the spaceship is going to go in the black hole and explore. And there's a scene where there's a robot that's with this crew called Vincent, and he's voiced by Roddy McDowall. And anyway, Vincent has a shooting match with this other android known as Star. And anyway, Star loses to Vincent and then short circuits. And what Vincent says, he's a robot that has these philosophical and quips and quotes. And he says, if one dances, one must pay the piper, which is a very old saying, which I probably imagine goes back to the Pied Piper of Hamelin, which is a whole other story. My third grade teacher, Miss Bowden, back when I was in elementary school, used to always say, what goes around comes around. So if you're out here acting a certain way, one day that's going to catch up to you. Even I'll appeal to the religious with the Bible. In the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 7, does it not say, be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. That old saying, you reap what you sow. So I see this documentary, or people being afraid of the documentary, or allegedly afraid of the documentary's contents coming out, as it's time to pay the piper. It's time to reap the harvest that you've sown. On one hand, so that's one hand. On another hand, you got to be careful what you do today, because it will affect your tomorrow. I'm not trying to pontificate to people. I'm just letting you know. I see this hoopla over the Freaknik documentary as sort of a cautionary tale for those of us who would like to indulge in certain pleasures without thinking about the morning after. Because the old song says there's got to be a morning after. That's just my 2 cents. Give me your thoughts. Give me your feedback on that. Or not. Either way, thanks for tuning in. Peace.